I think what we're doing is revolutionary, and it has to be revolutionary for a very simple reason. We are in serious trouble. You know, when we got the beast from the east and that Arctic wind blew, and we realised that the Arctic was 20 degrees centigrade warmer than it should have been, we know we are in an existential crisis.
Climate change is extremely serious, and it is not being dealt with because the political system has failed us.
So it seems as though we're taking 5 steps forward and 20 steps back. So there's that core, that 1% who seem intent on controlling money and land and access to things, whilst the majority of people suffer and struggle.
It's just so much injustice and unfairness and that disconnection with each other, and especially with politicians, with actual people, real people, you know, that disconnection. I think that really kind of frustrates me, you know, like people are not listened, people are not valued.
People who are invested in the ways of the past, who have the power, will create the barriers. And they still have most of the tools and they have the resources. So it's quite a challenge for people who can see possibility for the future to really get that coming together is the point, is the task. Because unless we do that, we'll never create some sort of real challenge to those who have power.
We've set ourselves a really, really big challenge. We want to change the way the country works. Right? We want to bring more power from corporations and national government to people in their communities so that they can drive a kind of change for earth care, people care and fair shares.
The impetus that brought a lot of us here, which was Brexit, which is that great shock to the system, whatever you think of Brexit, that this is a moment of change and that we're galvanizing this moment of change to create the sort of world we want, the sort of world that many of the partners here are creating, that we can, and that together we'll create something that is greater than the sum of those individual parts.
My aspirations for the current world are that we figure out the skillful ways to work together, that we realise that we have so much more influence and control and possibility in the places where we live than we might think that we do. And at the moment we all seem to be increasingly isolated from each other. So for me the real work is finding those ways to bring people together with the least barriers to engagement, creating conversation, opening spaces where people can ask what if together.
Many of us who are here have already been converted. So we hope we will not just keep going, but we will get everybody on board.
As masses, people don't understand or don't want to understand that they have a voice and they can change things. And we go with the status quo and go with the flow because it's easier. And I think we can change things. And I just wish people would realise that the more of us that speak out. And it's not about changing things to meet one certain type of person's views or a certain group's views. I think we've all got a place on this planet and we can all make the changes that we want to see.
I see hope from local solutions. I think that we have massive challenges ahead of us that we need to scale and address, but solutions exist, they're out there, they're in practice, they're happening at community levels, at local levels, at grassroots levels, across the world, and we need to connect to, learn from, and lift up those solutions.